Hello, welcome. I thought it was about time that I did a bit of an update about swimming at the moment. It's been nearly 2 years since the English Channel swim. I think we're currently in my window actually, 10th to the 18th of July, 2 years ago. If you were following along at the time, you know that I didn't go in that window. It was very windy and I waited about 7 weeks, so I went at the end of August bank holiday weekend. That was a very good call by the pilot, who knows better than me. He did, at one point he rang, and I remember him saying, "No offence, you're slow. You need a better window than what we've got." So the really fast people went in that window, and he waited until it was brilliant weather for me, and I went then. So perfect for me. Since I've done my own swim, 2 weeks later I went back to crew for Emma. Emma got like the most beastly sunny day you've ever seen in your life. It was fantastic to crew on. What a sunning opportunity for me. Super tan. And then a year later I went back to crew for Jo. Jo got a different kind of day. She started in the night. She swam all night long. The sun was just going down when she set off, so that was a totally different experience for me with my swim and Emma's swim, both starting really early in the morning and finishing in a couple of hours of darkness. So Jo swam all night, and that was pretty cool to watch. And then this year, 2 years later, I was crewing for Amy, who lives in Ulverston, and I met her just I think 2 years ago. She'd reached out when I was waiting in my window to say that she signed up for it. She was doing a relay that year, so that went really well for her, and then she's just smashed the channel this year, so that was really cool to watch. Again, totally different swim, and what an experience for a crew member. Amy, she set off with a couple of hours of darkness left. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning, but with it being June, really long day, so sun came up. We started feeding her, and she threw everything up. Pretty much, well, everything came out for the first 6 hours. Then we gave her a cup of tea and it stayed in. Gave her a bit more tea with a bit of maltodextrin in, because that's what she'd been training on. That's what she'd been fine with. Threw it up. So a bit baffled on the boat as to why she was throwing up. Gave her this fructose drink. It's called fruit sugar fructose. We gave her that in hot water. She drank that, and for most of the 16-hour swim, it stayed in. So she swam the channel on sugar. Amazing. So it was such a mental struggle to watch for me. I was like, oh my god, she's throwing up. How's she going to do this? But she did it. It's absolutely really inspiring to watch. It was really cool. Anyway, so what I'm getting to is all those experiences are great. My own swim, 3 to crew for, all different. I learned a lot. And last year in October, I signed up to swim either from England to the Isle of Man or Isle of Man to England, depending on the pilot's decision. That's with Infinity Channel Swimming, and basically I'm going to be doing that next year. Could be any time in the season. They did say it doesn't really depend very much on whether it's a spring tide or a neap tide, so I'm just going. So that'll be my big challenge. It's going to be about 30 hours long. There was a 9-person wetsuited relay. It took them 30 hours. They went from England to the Isle of Man, and there was a really inspiring swim. The thing that sparked my interest in the first place was Adam Diver's swim that he did. Also wetsuited, and what an achievement. It's absolutely brilliant. So he went from England to the Isle of Man, and that's what made me think, oh, it can be done by somebody in a wetsuit. I'm going to sign up and do that. And every credit to him. It was, I don't know if this is the right word for it, but assisted. So there was rest involved when the tide wasn't in Adam's favour. But yeah, he raised a lot of money for charity. I won't be doing the rest on the boat. It'll just be one continuous swim. Therefore, if I do make it, it will be a world record, which I also think is really cool. Work-wise, I'm in a similar situation. I'm working 2 or 3 nights. There's 12.5-hour shifts. Nights has been, I don't know, it can be really hard. I can either fly through my nights and be totally fine. Other weeks, by the time I finish my nights, I feel ill and I've got flu-like symptoms. I'm dying. I'm also tired. I'm tired a lot of the time from those nights because what I do is I only get maximum 4 hours sleep probably in between the kids being at school. So it's not enough on a normal day. So when I did my channel swim, I did a bit of teaching assisting instead. That was so much easier on the body. You could do early mornings, you could do late nights swimming, and it didn't physically break you. But with not getting a lot of sleep on the nights, early mornings or late nights at other times just completely wipe you out. So I've got a bit of juggling to do over the next 12 months. That's how long I've got. My mum and my sister are my number one champions. They help me out with my kids all the time. They're brilliant. If I need some help, they're the first ones to stick their hand up, and they are amazing. So I'll be calling on them a lot over the next 12 months. My husband Taz, I'm sure he'll be on the boat on the day, hopefully, if he wants to be there. 30 hours on a boat, which is a rib style boat. It's not this huge channel boat. I say huge, it's a fishing boat. But they're big in comparison to channel boats. So these infinity boats are ribs, so basically inflatable at the bottom, and they just fly across the water a little bit like a speedboat in an emergency. So that's why they use ribs instead. So that'll be interesting for the crew. Don't know what they do about toilets. 30 hours with no toilet, I don't know how that works, so we'll see. Lots of questions to ask. I am doing a little bit of fundraising. I'm having a fundraiser in Preston on the 3rd of October this year. I'm also reaching out to local businesses, seeing if they are interested in supporting me really. It's an expensive swim and it is a world record, and I think getting the word out there that this could be a record that a woman takes, a mum, an ordinary person, would be quite cool. And it might be something that local businesses are interested in being involved in. It might not, but I thought, what's the harm in asking? And I'm also doing a bit of fundraising for children with cancer as well. I did the London Marathon for them more than 10 years ago. I think I was 21, so yeah, more like 15 or 16 years ago. Might have been 20 actually. And they were called Children with Leukemia at the time, and I got a charity place in the marathon for them. So I thought it would be cool to select that charity again. Last time when I did the channel, I raised quite a few £100 for Safe Passage, which is a charity for children, refugees who basically they have a lot more rights than adults, and they often don't know. And if they arrive on their own as refugees, they offer extra support for those children, helping them with the rights and whatever else. So yeah, I've received a little bit of support from Huel, which is interesting. So seeing my friend Amy, poor woman, throw up maltodextrin all the way across the channel, that could have been a dodgy batch. It could have just been, I don't know, not agreeing with her that day, I don't know, mixed up incorrectly. She thinks she might have mixed it up too strong. I've never had a problem with it, but I must say at the end of my channel swim I was kind of bonked, and that was a 15-hour swim, almost 15 hours. This swim's twice as long, and I don't think swimming on just carbohydrate is enough. I think you need a little bit more real food. Don't get me wrong, cup of tea and a Battenberg was my favourite feed of my channel swim, and I must say when I got thrown down a maltodextrin after that, I was pretty disappointed. So I'm going to experiment with food this time. I think I need a little bit more than maltodextrin. I don't think that it'll do the job for 30 hours. I don't think it's good enough. So I'm going to try some Huel. Liquid food should digest more easily than solid food, but it's a complete meal. It's not just carbohydrate. I'm going to be doing most of my swimming. I'm going to seek out on Facebook Marketplace probably one of these garden pools that you can get. They're like a steel frame with a vinyl liner. It's nothing fancy. Fill it up with cold water. It's got a bit of a filter in there. Chuck a chlorine tablet in, and I'm going to do some tethered swimming in the garden. So this is opposed to doing all my open water swims in the lakes, which is absolutely fantastic, but not all your swimming has to be in a lake. So in COVID times, lots of people did train for their channel swim in a tethered pool, and I just think that's amazing. I can train at 10 o'clock at night. My pool's shut. The pool down at Total Fitness is closed, long closed by 10 o'clock, so I can't swim in the pool. I'm not really going to be driving to the Lake District at 10 o'clock at night to swim on my own. Not really that safe. And also it's an hour each way to my closest open water swimming spot. So logistically, it is a bit of a nightmare. And I think to save myself time and money this year, I'm gonna get one of those pools, and I'm just gonna get on with it in the garden. So 50-50 possibly for my open water swimming. It's actually going to be in a garden pool. I'll be doing lots of speed work over winter in the pool, Total Fitness, but it's just way too hot in there in summer, to be fair. So yeah, garden pool's actually pretty appealing. I'll see how that works out. Obviously super important to still go and swim in the sea. I'll be doing that. I really want to go on Dover swimming camp again. I'd love to do that and go down for a couple of weekends as well, just to break myself in on the really long salty swims, because it destroys your mouth, but it gets you ready mentally in your mind for the sort of swimming that you're going to be doing on the day. There used to be a swim camp organised by Infinity called Hit the Wall. They don't do that anymore, unfortunately, but that was a brutal swimming camp. Would have been good because it's obviously in the part of the world where I'm going to be swimming, and the jellyfish are lion's mane in the around the Isle of Man. A lot of them are big red lion's mane, so I haven't encountered these, and people do have allergic reactions to them, so I'm going to try and put myself in the way of a couple on the training camps, hopefully. There's any swimming opportunities coming up in Ireland and that sort of area. I need to see how I fare with those. I might get a fair few stings along the way, and I'd like to just know, it's no big deal, not going to bother me. I did get stung a lot on one of my swimming weekends that went down to Dover. There was a jellyfish bloom. As soon as you set off, bam, 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 the whole way around, just sting, 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 right across the face, all my arms and legs, everything. At least 50 times I got stung on one of those training swims. And other than being super itchy, afterwards, there was no lasting effect. So I thought, alright, wicked, I can be stung 50 times and nothing bad's going to happen. Probably not going to get stung that many times in the channel. This is the bloom. And lo and behold, on the channel swim, I got stung maybe 6 or 7 times. No big deal, mostly at the end, French jellies. But yeah, I'm excited about this swim. I haven't done a great deal of swimming between the channel and now. I've done nothing long. I've done a couple of 3-hour swims just for fun, really. I've done swims around Rydal, swims around Grasmere, both small little lakes. Well, they're not really lakes, bodies of water in the Lake District. And I'd also done the out and back in Wastwater just before my channel swim. That was great. So what I'm working on is doing the rest of the bodies of water in the Lake District. So I'll be cracking on with that in my training. I don't really know if there's anything else to mention. I'm not sure. I think I'll leave it there for now. But yeah, follow along, and I'll soon be training. In September I'm starting my training plan, which again Amy Enian is doing for me. I trust Amy because I think she's just relatable. She's a down-to-earth woman and her plans work. I really enjoyed the one that she did for the channel swim for me. My other friend Amy, she's just used the training plan that Amy did for her. It's tailored, and you can ask her to alter it if you need to, and she's just really understandable, and she doesn't mock you for being slow. It's great, it's brilliant. I can't recommend her enough. So yeah, I'll leave it for there now. Lovely, thank you very much.